Before we start, I like to give a huge shout out to all my Patreon members. All credit goes out to them as it's their support that is helping me create these videos. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment to FMSCOUT's YouTube page. Peace and enjoy the video. Also for this video, I did use Pro's transfer update. So please, if you want to use the update, use this one. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FMSCOUT's YouTube channel. It is RDF and today we will be looking at a tactic recreation. Yes, probably the most anticipated tactic so far this year. It has to be the Hans Flick recreation. This was requested so many times, and after their real life showing in the Champions League, just smashing teams, most noticeably beating Barcelona 8-2, well, I had to rush and get this done, and I am pleased to tell you that I believe I successfully recreated this in FM20. In the Bundesliga, we managed to play 34, winning 31 of those games. That is highly incredible, drawing one of those games and losing only 2. In the Champions League, we beat Manchester City in the final 2-0, always nice to get a clean sheet. In the DFB Pokal, we also won that, beating Borussia Dortmund in the final 2-0. And in the Super Cup, we were the runners-up, losing 2-1 to Borussia Dortmund. So in the end, we managed to win the treble, something that Bayern Munich in real life are striving for. And now we're going to get right into it. We're going to look at the tactic and we are going to explain it a little bit. So now let's talk about the tactic and the team instructions. For the attacking width, I have gone with narrow. I feel that he likes to play in those narrow areas. He likes to get his players in those narrow areas, especially the two inverted wingers. He wants them to come in, creating those overloads in central midfielders. That then allows our wing backs to have that absolute space to go and play in. But also they get players operating in those half spaces. This just makes it almost impossible for the opposition to pick up our attackers. Our approach play, we will be playing it out of defence. Flick likes to keep possession of the ball, so for that reason we're going to be playing out of defence whilst also shorter passing. With the tempo, we have gone with a higher tempo. We want the ball to be from our defence to attack in urgent fashion. We want our overall play just to be happening in a more urgent fashion. I did try to go with extremely high, but when using this instruction, I felt that we just lost possession of the ball a bit too easily and a bit too much, and Hans Flick has a very good pass completion ratio, so for that reason I notched it down a little. In the final third, we will be sending mixed crosses whilst also hitting our crosses early. So when the ball is in the wider areas and we are looking to cross the ball, I want them to be crossing it a tad quicker, trying to get the ball to our main man, our target man Lewandowski, because his off the ball movement is just incredible, and I feel that hitting the ball early will unsettle the opposition. When approaching the final third, I feel that Flick gives his players the complete license to express themselves. For that reason, I have gone with be more expressing and also run out defence, as that option I feel adds a little bit more directness to our attacks. In our transitional play, we all know that Hans Flick likes to play the gegenpress, so it was a no-brainer to have a counter press and to have the counter option. And when the goalkeeper is in distribution, I want him to be distributing it quickly, getting our attacks starting very quickly, initiating our attacks from deep and starting from the goalkeeper. When he is distributing it, I want him to be throwing it long to our players. If we check Neuer, he has a 19 throw-in and he likes to use long throws to start counter-attacks. So for me, it was a no-brainer. This should help our transitional play. When out of position, I have gone with a much higher line of engagement alongside the much higher defensive line. Again, this is how I feel Munich are set up this season. The one flaw with this system, and as you can see evidently against Barcelona, the much higher defense line. It is very possible for the opposition to get the ball between our defense and the goalkeeper, and that can be a flaw and that can be a weakness, but it's a huge risk Hans Flick takes, and it's a huge risk that has paid off for him. Our presser intensity is more urgent. The gegenpress preset is set to extremely urgent, but when using this option, I felt that this left some gaps in our team that shouldn't be there. As I explained before, there could be a gap between our defense line and our goalkeeper, but using extremely urgent, I started seeing gaps appear between our lines, especially between our defensive midfielders and our central defenders, and that gap just isn't there in real life, so I notched the pressing intensity down to more urgent. We will also preventing the short goalkeeper distribution, of course, but are trying to stop the opposition initiating their attacks from deeper areas. We want the ball back as soon as possible so we can play our football and play our football in urgent fashion. For defensive width, I have gone with narrow. I feel Bayern Munich are very, very good at defending central areas, and what I found for some reason, when I am defending narrowly, I felt that this gave us a better foundation to start our counter-attack. So for the player instructions, I have gone for the complete wing back on the left. I have given him support duty because his job is not just to attack and operate in the final third, but also help the midfield and help with the possession play in the midfield. For the right hand side, we have gone with the fullback on support. Just like Davis, he is going to be offering us some width, but he is a little bit more reserved than Davis, as he is a better ball playing fullback and he is good playing some angle balls, just helping our transition play, especially in possession. Our centre back pairing is a ball playing defender and a central defender. The ball playing defender, I have given him the instructions to dribble more with the ball, but also mark tighter. I feel this helps our defensive play, especially with our much higher defensive line. I feel this gives us the option to mark our attackers with a little bit more urgency. For the other centre back, I've just gone with the central defender, but take more risks because he is comfortable with the ball. The reason why I didn't give him the ball playing defending role, because I feel that ball playing defenders tend to have the extra creative freedom, and I just simply didn't want both centre backs to have that freedom, so I've just given it to David Alaba, and Nicolas Soulé will be acting more like a traditional centre back, but he also has the ability to play the ball too. For the two DMs, the double pivot, I have gone with a deep lying playmaker, Joshua Kimmich. So I want his job just to be holding his position, preferably in the back three, but it's okay if it's just in front of the back three, and this helps our possession play just a little bit better when we are building our attacks. And for the register, though I actually feel that this player in real life, he likes to play in those central areas, but I have given him the instruction just to stay wider a little. This again helped our build up from the play. This helped our possession, but also it helps with our narrow play with the players in the half spaces. So for that reason, I have given him to stay wider, but he also has the instructions to dribble the ball more, to try and carry the ball into the more advanced areas, alongside close down more and tackle harder. But this also gives us the flexibility to build up in different ways, because I feel that sometimes Hans Flick can build up with 2 centre backs, or sometimes he can build up with 3 centre backs. Sometimes it does depend on the opposition and how they are set up. But I feel with the double pivot, both these players have the ability to dictate the play, and they both have the vision to initiate some dangerous attacks. For the 2 wide wingers, I have gone with the inverted wingers. I want them to be coming in, operating in the half spaces, creating overloads, just like Bayern Munich does, and that is what we are aiming for. With the instructions, I have given them cross aim to the centre, so in case when they do cross the ball, they know who to cross it to, and that is one man and one man only. We are going to be looking for Lewandowski. I have also given them roam from position. When looking at Bayern Munich's heat maps and positional play, I noticed that both Perisic and Gnabry, when looking at their movement, they were all over the place. I noticed that sometimes they did actually swap wings too, but sometimes you will see them in some unusual positions to pick up the ball, and this again causes havoc for the opposition's defence. For the attacking midfielder role, this was one of the most difficult roles to pin down for Thomas Müller, as I feel the options here aren't what Müller does. I could have gone for the enganche, the hook, but I don't like the fact that he holds his position, and I don't feel Müller actually holds his position just bang straight in that one place. I feel that he has the ability to go and find spaces, but also he makes runs into the box and into channels, and I feel that the enganche doesn't do that. The advanced playmaker could do that. The only issue with the advanced playmaker is that your team will be looking to pass the ball a lot more to that player. But again, that is okay because Thomas Müller is a very good player on the ball too. For his instructions, I have given him hold up the ball, helps him pick out a better pass. I have also given him the roam from position just for the exact same reasons as the two wider players. Last and certainly not least, it is the striker role, the Lewandowski. We have given him the pressing forward. I feel that Hans Flick has made him the most deadliest pressing forward on the planet by a mile. For me, he's been the best player over the year in the world. No arguments. And I feel that if the Ballon d'Or was on this year, again, no arguments to who should win that. For me, it is Lewandowski. But for his instructions, I have given him dribble less. So when he is on the ball, he should be looking to play the ball as soon as he gets the ball, bringing others into the game rather than looking to dribble himself. And I have also given him the move into channels, getting into those spaces, making it again very difficult for the opposition. So that is it for the team tactics and the instructions. We will now be looking at some results. So we will just go to the competition, and as you can see, like I said before, we did win the league. In real life, I think Bayern Munich hit 100 goals or just over 100 goals. We only managed to get 91, but 91 is still a high amount of numbers. And for goals against, we only conceded 13. That is very incredible indeed. Just for some team stats, you can see here we're actually 9th with average possession. For some reason, it is very difficult to build possession. I don't know how Football Manager counts possession on this game, but it is very difficult to get a high number of possession. So 50% is actually very decent on this game, I guess. It's actually not a low number on Football Manager. But as you can see here, as Bayern Munich, we scored 91 goals, 20 ahead of the second best, which is Borussia Dortmund. We came away with a 22% cross completion, but that's something that we wasn't very interested in. It's not very important to us. We only scored 7 goals from corners. I feel that we can look into that considering Schalke scored 12, but we did score a very high amount of free kicks, scoring 13 indirect free kicks and 2 direct free kicks. But like I said, pass completion ratio, it has to be very good. That is part of the possession play under Hans Flick. And we are the 4th highest with passes completed, with FC Cologne not too far ahead of us. But when we're talking about the big chances, the chances created, as you can see, Bayern Munich, we created 105 of those chances. That is a lot of chances. We also had the best shot on target ratio. We had the most shots on target, whilst having the 2nd best conversion rate. That is some very good numbers. We also drew in the most fouls. Of course, the opposition just couldn't get near us, and when they did, they had to bring us down to try and stop our attacks. When it comes to defending stats, we had the best numbers of conceded goals. That is 13, the least in the league. Conceded from corners, we conceded 3. Something to look at, as Borussia Mönchengladbach conceded none. Neither did Frankfurt. We conceded none from direct free kicks and only 1 from indirect free kicks. We did get the most clean sheets, of course, getting 24 clean sheets out of 34 games. Very good. So basically, only in 10 games we conceded goals. In 24 of them, we didn't. Very good numbers. When it comes to fouls made, we didn't make any fouls really. We're bottom of the list. We only made 183 fouls. That's the lowest I have ever made on Football Manager 20 whilst playing the pressing game. So very good indeed. And when it comes to tackles won ratio, we were the best because we wasn't just diving in recklessly. We were picking our times, and of course it seems that we picked the perfect times to pick our tackles. When it comes to goals, you will see Kingsley Coman and Leroy Sané up there with double figures of goals, and Lewandowski with 21. Of course, Lewandowski had a great season. He scored 21 goals in 20 games, so that ratio is still very good, just like in real life. But with this game, what hampered him scoring from even more goals, he actually had a couple injuries. He had an injury where he was injured for 2 months at the start, and then towards the end he broke his foot. Again, he got injured for 2 months. With him injured, we noticed that our numbers dropped. Of course it did, but we still performed very, very well, with Joshua Zerski scoring 8 goals for us in 24 games. That is very, very good return for the youngster. So when we're looking at our squad stats, you will see that Lewandowski was the main man, scoring 31 goals in 26 games. Leroy Sané scoring 22 goals alongside Kingsley Coman. So I feel that I actually got some similar numbers to Hans Flick in terms of who are scoring the goals and how much they are scoring. Alaba, our centre-back, scored 13 goals. I'm not sure how, because we didn't score that many from corners, but he scored 13 goals. Thomas Muller also hit double figures. Hooray! He scored 11 goals for us. Serge Gnabry is one that would have scored more again if it wasn't for injuries. This save, we had injuries to some key players, so for us to get the results that we did was very, very good. So I know that even with some injuries, we still can perform. When it comes to the numbers of assists, Thiago with the most alongside David Alaba. Again, I'm not sure how, playing as the centre back. Maybe he's taking corners, but then again, we didn't score the most corners. Joshua Kimmich also with 10 assists. Leroy Sané with 9. Kingsley Coman with 9. When we look at the average rated players, you will see that Thiago was the highest average rated player, with Lewandowski just behind him. I feel Lewandowski would have topped that again if it wasn't for his injuries. David Alaba with a 7.6, with Tolisso with a 7.53. So our average ratings were very, very high too. One thing I didn't really manage to recreate is to get those very, very high numbers in the Champions League, like scoring 8 against Barcelona, scoring 7 against Tottenham. I was very, very happy about that. That is something I couldn't recreate. Of course, that is going to be very difficult. It is very possible that Bayern Munich won't be able to replicate that themselves. But we did still score a fairly high amount of goals. So as you can see here against Valencia, we managed to score 4 against them. We got a 0-0 draw away to Ajax, but we also scored 4 against Inter at home. In the league, we did manage to grab 7 against Hoffenheim. We managed to get 5 against Arminia Bielefeld. I'm hoping that's how you pronounce the name. We also got a few 3-0s, a few 2-0s. There's a 6-1 here. So we did have a few games where we scored a very, very high amount of goals. But that is it for this video, unfortunately. Thank you guys for being patient. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment to FMSCOUT's YouTube channel. It has been a pleasure to create this video for you guys and to create this tactic. I hope to see you soon. Enjoy your day, guys. Peace.